6 years ago, I was doing 60 plus hours a week in my real estate investing business, calling homeowners, texting people, qualifying leads, trying to close deals, comp properties, all these things that I'll tell you, AI is able to do over 80% of this heavy lifting in my business, where I work maybe an hour or two a day on it. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you exactly what my AI is working on, how you can set up something very similar, and what you should be focusing on a daily basis to scale or grow your real estate investing business. By the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Matt Beard. I have a community called No Fluff Real Estate. It's in school. I have over 2,100 people in that group. And all that I do is I help investors grow their businesses. So when it comes to this topic, it's all that I do. So let's talk about that 80% that AI actually handles. So how business used to work. Any of these things that I didn't want to do on this list, I was having to go hire virtual assistants. That means managing people. And look, I love my virtual team, but it's not near as consistent if you can give it to a machine that will work 24/7, doesn't take weekends off, power never goes out, it doesn't call in sick, speaks every language. You get my rift here. So 2026 changes everything. See, AI was just a conversation in 2025. It was almost like a fun party trick. Hey, look what AI can do. Oh my gosh, you see the response? That was really cool. In 2026, it actually has real business application. See, the thing you have to think about is AI isn't a tool. It's not a software. It is a role. It fulfills a role in your business. So the way that I look at it is all the things that I used to delegate or automate or try to just delete off my plate and give to my virtual team, I started thinking, well, how can I actually make this possible and give this to AI instead? And by doing that, it has allowed me to scale the business in places that just wasn't possible or just had a long drag time. And one rule of money is money loves speed. So the faster you can move, the more money you're gonna make. I want you to think real quick of your real estate investing business as a conveyor belt, broken down into 3 phases. So where we're gonna start is phase 1. Phase 1 is lead generation, okay? So the way that our lead generation works is we actually start by reaching out to gatekeepers, okay? These gatekeepers, AKA realtors, they get 90% of deals before anyone else knows about them. That's the secret sauce here. I'm not trying to reach out to homeowners directly. In fact, it's getting harder and harder to do that. I would much rather work with people that are getting the deals anyways. So how we do this is we reach out to them via automation. We start sending them text messages. And what you end up getting is a mixed bag of responses. So where AI steps in this process is it takes those responses and puts them in the appropriate buckets. So some people will text and will reach out to, and they'll never respond. Well, they'll go into follow-up campaigns. Eventually they'll get emails from us. Out of sight, out of mind. Some people will respond, very rude. Don't ever text me again. You guys stink, blah, blah, blah. Cool. The AI will categorize that and put it into a dead bucket. But where the opportunity really lies is where the leads go when they don't say those things. A lot of times we'll reach out to our gatekeepers and they don't have anything. We'll ask them, okay, well, how often do you run across properties? And we'll ask them if it's okay that we check in from time to time. If they give us permission, those people become tier 3. The system checks in with them every month. We don't have to think about it. It's out of sight, out of mind. It also manages all of its own follow-ups. Now, if the AI is having a conversation with an agent and they give us an address, that's what we consider a tier 1. We're actively working to deal with them. It's time to go dig in and see if this lead makes sense, which moves us into phase 2. So AI handles all the categorization, all the responses, so I know which leads actually deserve my time. And if you're curious about what tier 2 is, it's all your fallouts. It's all the people that gave you addresses and it didn't work out. See, a key metric that we track is off-market opportunities. So when we reach out to agents asking for ugly houses, we'll ask, hey, do you have anything coming up that needs some work? The agent heard, oh, Matt's got money. Maybe he wants to buy my listing that's been sitting on market for 6 months. Probably not. We want to do the off-market deals. It takes 12 to 20 off-market deals to turn into a contract. So based on our KPIs, that's where I want to put my focus into. So let's dive into phase 2 and let me show you what the AI actually does here. So phase 2 is broken down into the 3 C's. It is call, it is comp, it is close. Let me actually show you what this looks like. So here inside of my deal generator, this is our tool that we use to be able to execute the model that I'm showing you, which is reaching out to gatekeepers and pairing them with the deep checkbooks that we're going to talk about here in a second. If you see here, here's my tier 1s, my tier 2s, and my tier 3s. With the hour or 2 that I'm spending daily, it's primarily in this phase 2, but I just don't want to spend it with everybody. I'm limited. I want to make sure that when I talk to somebody, it's the ones that could potentially actually turn into a deal. So again, what I'm looking for is ugly, off market and the asking price is under Zillow's estimate. So I want to be able to quickly, like Gwendolyn here, for example, she's a tier 1. Looks like she gave us an address today. You can see she's been talking with our bot, going back and forth, actually had a conversation with someone on our team. But more importantly, I'll check out my notes. So when I click on Gwendolyn, I can see the address she gave us here. I can see the estimated value, and I can see basically what my offer needs to be. See, AI, once we got the address from the agent and it tagged it tier 1, it also went out and did a quick property analysis for me. This property analysis is not saying this is for sure the retail value, but this is a conservative value for this home. So I know if conservatively my numbers say this, then I know if what they're asking for is anywhere close to what these conservative numbers are, it's probably going to be worth our time. And I can go through this conversation rather quickly and I can see what are they asking, right? And she's saying average solds are 425. Probably not surprised with that. Looking like maybe they want to do some sort of seller finance. Maybe not. Down payment of $15,000. Like I said, I won't bore you. Oh, this is a hoarder house for sure. Look at these photos. I won't bore you guys with all the details, but this is tried and true. This is exactly what we're looking for from our gatekeepers. Mostly, we are primarily trying to find the ugly houses. Now, I'm not going to tell you that realtors are always realistic on their asking prices. The reason why only 12 and 20 off-market leads turn into a deal, but this is what we're looking for. Off-market, ugly, and a below retail asking price. If those things are true, cool, it's worth our time. But I will already have context coming into this situation because my bot has already run a quick property analysis. So going back to what phase 2 is, with the call comp close, I can head into this call and have a really good conversation with the agent because we have already had an idea of these numbers. And if you are curious about what this call actually sounds like, I have this thing here for you guys. It's called the cash setup call. It's actually inside of the school community. All you got to do is click the link in the description if you want to go grab this. This details exactly what you need to cover on this call with the agent, right? And that's the first step in phase 2. The next step, I will only go and comp a property that I see we could be in range for, because if they have an asking price that is below retail value and they're flexible, well, at that point, let me go do a deep dive. Let me go see if I have any buyers that may be interested in this. And at which point, once I have a good idea where I need to be on my price, I will then go call and close. That's where my hour or two really is spent daily. Mostly it's with the agents that have given me ugly houses. So imagine you only had 4 or 5 people to call on a daily basis, but those 4 or 5 people were the most important because those are the ones that are most likely going to get you to doing a deal. That's why you can make full-time income in this doing it kind of part-time. So let's move on to phase 3. So phase 3 is all around finding these checkbooks, the people in your market that have the money, that are doing deals that you need to get connected to. It's all about disposition. So how do you actually do that? Well, there's really 3 tools that I think everybody should really realistically look into. And it's not that difficult because in a perfect world, you use AI to do the same outreach like you do with your agents that we just showed you. You do the same thing with buyers. I can go to a platform like Investor Lift. I can go in there, create a free account. I can see properties that are being listed and I can reach out to the person listing those properties and say, hey, I got properties in this area too. Could you help me look at a couple and let me know if it's worth a deal or not? Maybe we can even do a joint venture on it. If you guys never done a joint venture, it typically is where you split the deal, right? They help you sell it, you split the proceeds, you get 50% and they get 50%. It's an easy way to get going fast. The next thing you can do, which is my favorite, is I like to use tools like Investor Base, where I can go into a market like Dallas, Texas. I can select an address and do a 10-mile parameter, and I can get all the flippers, everybody who's done an investment deal, which typically signals they bought a house and resold it within the calendar year for a profit, like higher than what they purchased it for. I can see everybody who's doing flips, and I can take that list, download it, use Deal Generator to do text blasts to those people and have the bot be there to respond. Because what happens is we text these people and say, hey, I know you bought this property off of 123 Main Street. Was just curious if you're still buying. Got your information from Investor Base. And as they respond, we have a bot that's trained to be able to go back and forth with them. That's scale. That's how you're able to do more deals and fill your buyer's pipeline quickly, because the magic happens whenever you have real people, you know exactly what they want, and you're able to pair them with the deals that you're finding on this side. Because I'll tell you, with this model, you will not have a tough time finding leads. It's all about having people lined up that are wanting those types of deals. That's how you make money quickly. And with AI, it is more realistic now for this not to even take hardly any of your time on a daily basis. Imagine the highest leverage work that you're doing is just talking to leads that are qualified and spending time with qualified buyers, figuring out exactly what they want. You don't need hundreds of them. If you had 5 or 10 qualified buyers, that's all you need to make multiple 6 figures in this business. The idea of having AI to leverage most of this heavy lifting that just wasn't possible brings the fact that it's not just that the AI is sending messages, it's that it works within a model that is made to do deals cheaply. You see, if you've never done wholesaling, or maybe you're in this boat and you've been watching these videos, you know the average wholesale closed deal is $5,000 plus. Now go talk to people who have franchises who do the ugly houses and stuff. I won't say any names, but they're spending a lot more than $5,000 per deal. The thing about this model is because texting is super cheap and email is super cheap and realtor information is free online and you can reach out to them compliantly because they're listed as businesses, our average deal cost is somewhere between 120 to 180 bucks, which is almost unheard of. So for me personally, I wanted to build this business where it supported my lifestyle, not my life supported this business, because I've been there. It was like golden handcuffs. The AI handles the volume. I handle the value. Bot does the prospecting, the property analysis, and the follow-up. I spend 1 to 2 hours a day focusing on the things that actually move the business forward, negotiating deals and networking with my checkbook, so I make sure I'm bringing them really good opportunities. That's how you do this. You want to see how to do more of this, more in-depth training, go hop into our school community. It's in the description below, and I hope to see you there. Bye.